Hello everybody, this is not a crypto expert chiming in with another video, and in today's video I wanted to point your attention to an article that I ran across on CNBC. But before I get into the topic of discussion for today, I would like to ask that you please consider giving me a like, giving me a heart, giving me a thumbs up, giving me a follow, a subscribe. I'm not going to ask you to share because it seems invasive. On my channel I talk about cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. I try to keep it entertaining with the beat in the background. So on to the topic of conversation for today, which is from CNBC.com, and here's how Bitcoin gets to $12,000. Now there's also a video that I am going to play, but first I'm going to read an article. The Bitcoin boom is back on. The cryptocurrency has risen 46% this year, pulling back over 10,000 this week for the first time since September. The rally is far from over, according to MKM partner Chief Market Technician J.C. O'Hara. When we look at crypto as a whole, they tend to trade in two distinct phases. The first being dormant consolidation, which is followed by phase 2, which is a high momentum phase, O'Hara told CNBC's Trading Nation on Wednesday. And when you look at Bitcoin, we're starting to see signs that the dormant consolidation from the second half of last year slowly starting to change in terms of positive, bullish momentum here. There's a chart what he's referring to. Bitcoin reached a near bottom in December and has been on a steady rise since then. We broke out of the downward sloping trend channel. We're breaking above the 10,000 psychological level, and we're of the opinion that the positive momentum will continue to follow positive momentum. So that's why we think in the short term we could see 12,000 on Bitcoin. A move to 12,000 implies 18% upside from current levels. It briefly topped that level last summer. Mark Tepper, president of Strategic Wealth Partners, is dipping a toe into Bitcoin but isn't ready to jump all the way in. Overall, we're seeing investors just continue to diversify away from traditional stocks and bonds toward alternatives. Bitcoin could fit into that alternative sleeve, but I think it's a little too early, Tepper said during the same segment, which I'm going to play. The fact that it's becoming significantly less volatile, if you could imagine that, over the last 2 years is definitely helping its case. Tepper holds Bitcoin but isn't a believer yet. He says if it's shot higher, we'd be happy, but if it goes to zero, it's not going to change our lives. In my opinion, not an investment just yet, still a speculative play. Bitcoin is up nearly 200% over the past 12 months. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video that is on CNBC, and I hope that you enjoy it.
Welcome back to Power Lunch. I'm Seema Modi. Bitcoin trading well above $10,000 today after crossing that mark earlier in the week. The cryptocurrency now up 200% in the past 12 months. Let's bring in the Trading Nation team, J.C. O'Hara, MKM Partners, Mark Tepper of Strategic Wealth Partners. Mark, what do you think is behind this big move?
Well, overall, we're seeing investors just continue to diversify away from, traditional stocks and bonds towards alternatives. Bitcoin could fit into that alternative sleeve, but I still think it's a little too early. Now, the fact that it's becoming significantly less volatile, if you could imagine that, over the last 2 years is definitely helping its case. The technology behind it is great and really speaks to its potential. But the issue is, it's really not accepted as a viable currency just yet. It hasn't been embraced by enough merchants and consumers yet. And most of the people I know that own Bitcoin, and I'm in that camp myself, we're all essentially saying the same thing, which is we own an amount that if it 10x's, we'd be happy, but if it goes to zero, it's not going to change our lives. So in my opinion, not an investment just yet, still a speculative play.
Certainly a speculative, to say the least. JC, you're looking at the chart?
Yeah, you know what? When we look at cryptos as a whole, they tend to trade in two distinct phases. The first being dormant consolidation, which is followed by phase 2, which is a high momentum phase. And when you look at Bitcoin, we're starting to see signs that the dormant consolidation that from the second half of last year is slowly starting to change in terms of positive bullish momentum here. We broke out of the downward sloping trend channel. We're breaking above the 10,000 psychological level. And we're of the opinion that positive momentum will continue to follow positive momentum. So that's why we think in the short term we could see 12,000 on Bitcoin.
All right, it's up $74 today. JC and Mark, thank you for joining us. And for more Trading Nation, head to our website or follow us on Twitter at Trading Nation.
Generally speaking, a strong dollar is good for the economy, but that doesn't mean that all companies are going to benefit equally. In fact, Companies that do a lot of business abroad and those that are in manufacturing tend to be more vulnerable to a strong dollar. So if you believe that the dollar is going higher, you might want to check your exposure to these types of companies. I'm Joanna Payne, and Schwab is the better place for traders.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. And with that being said, folks, don't forget to hit that like button, that heart button, that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, that follow. I'm not going to ask you to share because it seems invasive. And I hope that you are having a great morning, a great afternoon, and an even better evening.